Meanwhile, we had this crazy conversation regarding AI and the tools and how like we're bringing back some workers all the way closer to their hometown. Other stuff are happening in China as well. I'm sure you've all heard about like the Weifang Kite Festival.
We have also written about it.
Oh, of course you did.
We did not get to go last year, or it wasn't on last year, I think. But yes, we did talk. We talked to our editor Si wrote the story and talked about how Weifeng's trying to build this entire kite industry because it's heritage, but people are also being very creative with it. It's a traditional thing, but they're also doing like kite racing. There are groups of elderly people who go to competitions, and one of them's like 80 years old, and then they make these like crazy kites, like the Shenzhou, like there's a rocket kite.
Or like a dragon.
Yeah. So
I've been to Weifang, the place where this town happens, but I had the unfortunate decision to go there in October because I was going for a movie event, like a short film festival, and then they were basically, we were invited and they didn't know what to do with us, so it's like, oh, you guys can go around, and so we went to the Kite place where it's supposed to have like a lot of work, a lot of artisans. Yeah. Thank you. And basically, because it was October and there is no wind, or not as much wind as April, then suddenly they were like no one. Like you had like the gigantic place where you would have artisan of people doing kites, but during that day of the year, they were just basically no one. But the meanwhile, especially the fun part that I talked about, because when you see those gigantic kites, you could wonder, can I go and fly with it? Well, the answer is partially yes. So the video that you would see on screen is basically a guy that was like managing one of those kites, and he's basically started to be picked up in the sky, like he started to fly.
Oh my god. That is not a kite anymore, man.
Do you think you can ask your UFO guy if he actually saw a kite? How would he take that well?
Some of them are apparently, dare I say it, weather balloons.
Oh.
But that video was taken in Wuhan, not in Weifang. But I think it's the kind of the season of wind anyway, so we shouldn't be surprised. There was also like a small kid, like in Taipei 3 years ago. The same thing happened to her, but she's only 3, so I guess she was like super light.
No, wasn't there like the pine nut picker? Like it's like a dangerous job. You float a balloon to the top of the tree, and then you pick the pine nuts, and one got blown away. And it was in the news last year maybe. But he was okay, I think, in the end. But he was in the air for a while.
He was up there for like a whole day or something, and he just came down in like another field. He was fine.
Yeah.
So it's like
physically.
So it's like a balloon where you go up. And
you go up. I think it is attached. I think
it's meant to be attached.
Yeah, and then you float up and you pick the nuts from the tree, but then I guess they broke and he floated away.
Honestly, like one of the things that always surprised me when I was first here in Beijing is the amount of kites you see flying in the middle of the city. Like there's a lot of big fans out there. Like you go to China Park, people are flying kites. You go to most places. I've seen kites like really in like between buildings.
It's a traditional activity, obviously with like thousands of years history in China or whatever. But in the story that you did too, like the person who is a kite enthusiast is like it cures all these things. It makes your like spine, like if you have like spine issues, it's healthy because you're out in the fresh air. So there are medicinal
benefits.
Yes.
Yeah.
to kite flying.
We did this short video about the last kite maker in Beijing. Actually, that is also worth a look. That I think his family used to make kites for like emperors and things like that. Multi-generational kite business.
That's what they all said. That I had a friend, like he used to do like some kind of a specific spicy wine in China, and he was claiming that his great-great-great-grandfather was selling it to the king of France. Like I think that's the typical stuff people would say.
Honestly, I would definitely go check that video because you will come out very surprised when you find out that this guy has the pictures and the story to prove it. So I'm like, it's a well-recognized like shop and well-known. So. And he's the last traditional style kite maker.
So no one's inheriting the business after he's gone?
To our knowledge, there was none. Because he was the eldest son.
Right. And does he have any kids?
No.
Then? Oh, okay.
Or the kids are not interested.
Right.
It's like, I like your kites, Dad, but not that much.
ChatGPT, man. I got to do ChatGPT.
Can you ask ChatGPT to make kites? How do you make a kite?
Anyway.
All right.
And of course, all of those references will be put on the video and podcast description so that you can take a look and click on it.